does it feel when you step in front of the mirror and you see you in all your red finery and horns? What did it feel like?
It's quite surreal at the beginning, you know. I mean, it's like you've transformed. I much prefer his face to my own. And is there a way I did? I started to get really into it. I was like, oh, Hellboy, you're so handsome.
A little bit of fun there on the red carpet. Eli with David Harbour. Yes, he starts out looking like that and then becomes this, Hellboy. There have been some big changes to the franchise. Eli's here with me. I don't know. We could have a debate over the handsomer thing,
yeah.
and which thing, but that was fun. You were there at the opening on Wednesday night, and the movie opens today. So thank you for coming in to talk and answer really the key question, which is burning, is does the world need more Hellboy? Why is there a new one?
That's exactly what I was saying to myself, Heather, as I was watching the film. Why? I mean, I gotta figure somewhere in a boardroom there's an executive thinking, you know what Hellboy needs to be edgier, angrier, maybe a little younger. And so here we are. You might remember the original Hellboy from Guillermo del Toro, who gave us Shape of Water. That guy's out. In is a director who comes from a horror background, Neil Marshall. David Harbour as the new Man in Red with the horns. And so we catch up with Hellboy, who's kind of a supernatural protector, keeping the forces of evil at bay, who happens to be a demon himself. So there he is. He's in a bit of a funk. People don't really trust him. And then you have Mila Jovovich as the Blood Queen, a witch so evil she was cut into several pieces, but there's a monster reassembling her. Meanwhile, there you got Hellboy's father, Ian McShane, the one and only, who gets a request from a secret society known as the Osiris Society. Let's take a look at what they want.
The British Occult Society, formed in 1866 by the ranking members of the Heliopic Brotherhood of Ra.
Ra? I met Ra once in the underworld. He was a close talker.
Well, like us, they fight against the forces of darkness, and our organizations have a long-standing relationship. They're old friends of mine, and they've requested your assistance with a giant problem.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Giants.
There you go. So just another day at the office for Hellboy. He heads off to fight the giant lunkheads, and the Blood Queen is trying to woo him over to her side.
She's being reassembled. What is, I mean, this is number 3, right?
No, it's number 1.
No, number 1.
They basically erased, we're rebooting. As,
okay.
You know, they did it with Spider-Man every, like, 6 years.
So this is
time
not
for
a
a reboot.
Continuation. This
No,
okay,
no,
I've got...
starting
am
all
I
over.
revealing the fact that I've not seen versions 1 and 2?
That's okay.
What is the difference this time?
No worries, and I understand your confusion. A lot of people have made that assumption because it feels like it wasn't that long ago, but the difference... Let me quote something I wrote down in my notebook. Geysers of blood. Geysers. I mean, people, this is a movie that Hellboy's been given, like, the heavy metal makeover that he doesn't deserve. The film looks at times like an extended Iron Maiden music video. There is a psychic character in this film who channels spirits in the form of her own internal organs, which take the form of disembodied spirits. And once the Blood Queen starts getting her way, there are monsters and mayhem, people being skewered and torn apart all in front of the camera. It seems to come out of the misguided idea that the original films didn't go far enough. Now, yeah, you go back to 2004, the effects weren't perfect, and it felt at times, and there's the original, like a Men in Black knockoff, but Guillermo del Toro, the director, combined his love of monsters with this childlike sense of glee for a movie that was more sweet and silly than scary. And that guy, Ron Perlman, the first Hellboy, was a big part of its charm. Now, Perlman has a head that looks like it was carved out of Mount Rushmore. He's all chin and chompers, but he was perfect for the cartoonish hero. Now, as we mentioned, the new guy is David Harbour. You might have seen him as Sheriff Hooper in Stranger Things. So this is a big move for him, doing the superhero thing. And on that carpet, I had a chance to talk with him about why he felt a connection to the Man in Red. Let's take a look.
He's, you know, he's a bit of a punk who's like trying to find his way and struggling with his own identity and his own flaws and his, you know, out there in a sort of way. And I mean, that's sort of been my trajectory. And I don't mind that. I mean, I like being a little messy, and I think that that's just kind of who I am.
So when Perlman played it, it was swashbuckling. Harbour was originally a theater guy. He's a serious actor, almost a method actor. So he's trying to play the reality of the moment, the reality of that red guy in a trench coat with horns. And so the result is a hero that is sullen and laconic, who's sulking over his daddy issues and then flinging himself into battle. And by battle, I don't mean the rivers of blood. I mean the script with the musty one-liners that should have stayed dead and buried. 2.5 stars
Eek.
out of 5.
That's one of the worst you've given us in a while.
It's a really disappointing retool. I'm sorry.
All right. Listen, makes me want to have you back.
All right.
Come back. Thank you.